Welcome to Project Die Hard Mission Monday Update. My name is Sue Roskopf. I'm an ambassador here with Project Die Hard, and you won't believe all the amazing things that have happened since we last got together on here. We are here every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Central to share all of the updates, all the amazing things that are going on, to keep everybody posted and clear on all of the activities that are taking place. So, with that, I am going to go ahead and bring in our amazing founder and president, Mr. Brian Gibson, to come on in and give us all the highlights. So, welcome, Brian. So glad you're here.
Oh, hey, everybody. I am so glad to be here. What a week. I do not think I've been this busy in a year. I really don't. Oh, wait, I take that back. I have, but this just compiled it. But I'm so grateful for it. I can't say that enough. I can't say thank you enough to our volunteers. I can't say thank you enough to you, to Kurt, to Christy, to the team. I can't thank our patrons enough. Our ministry partners. Look, people, keep them prayers coming because they're working. Okay, you know how I go because I need that little slide deck to see what I'm talking about, or else I'll just ramble all day long. So here we go. All right. PDH blessings in the past week. Okay, the week before we went up to Springfield, Illinois, and got blessed by the VFW Auxiliary. That gave us 7 more months. Well, this past week, we received a donation from the Patriot Tractor and Car Show, which will keep the mission going for the next 2 months. So that's 7, 8. So we got 9 months.
That's
9 months
amazing.
that the electric bill, light bill, internet bill, insurance bill, all those are just to get covered. Okay, we got some big things going. Okay, but that's our big blessing for this week. Now, our needs for the next week. Prayers that Humana Healthcare patrons our fellowship breakfast. We talked to them at the convention. We've had a couple email things going, but keep praying that they pick up that fellowship breakfast patronage. Because if they do that, that means we might be able to get 11 months out of these donations we've gotten. Okay? And that leads me to patrons. We need more. You're $22 a month, right? That's the key. $22 a month keeps this mission going. Yes, we write for grants. We write for endowments. We're always searching, but they're not guaranteed. That's why your donation is so important to us. In the next few slides, you're going to see why we need your time, your skills, your talents. Because, wow. Wow. Now for the big news. Let us welcome to the team SIU Carbondale. I've been teasing about this, but the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, and they are an official resource partner of Project Die Hard. They will be overseeing our educational programs. This is teamwork, just wow. Saturday, we gave a tour to the United States Reserve Corps, 1st Illinois Battalion. That was those talks, and they finally came down and saw and they joined the team as a resource partner. So plans are now filling a bus and or a train with 50 volunteers for a 4-day trip down to Forward Operating Base Rush.
Wow.
Okay, folks, look, we only take the best for who we serve. We had to get vetted from SIU Carbondale, but in turn we vetted them too. Okay, we vetted the 1st Illinois Battalion. If you think you can make the team, we invite you. Become a resource partner. Let's share our resources so we can help more. We only take the best, right? So let's welcome to the team Howard D. Happy, Office Technology. They're located down here in Mayfield, Kentucky. They've been around for over 100 years. Now, you know our mission, so you know our facilities are going to take everything from printers to desks to chairs to paper clips to paper. Well, they joined our mission as a mission supplier. So they give us the best price they can give us. But the more you support them and tell them Project Diehards sent you, the more they can do for us. Okay? More news will be coming. They'll get listed on the website and all this. But let's welcome them to the team. Reach out to them. You got you got their address, you got their phone number, their website. Reach out to them and say, hey, thanks for joining the Die Hard team. What does it take to grow these blessings, right? Special people with a servant's heart. That's what it takes. We need people. And it's not just swinging hammers, folks. It's admin, it's answering emails, it's following up with things. The more people we get to take on their task and say, I got that, the more this mission will grow. Volunteer at projectdiehard.org. That's where you start. You bring your skills, talents, and time. We need patrons. We need patrons. Any monthly amount helps, right? Any monthly amount helps. Pray for and share this mission. Find us on social media, right? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. I'm going to hit this YouTube. We are so close to hitting that 1,000 mark. Push us over the edge, folks, so we can start monetizing. So my question is to you guys. What can/will you do to help bring hope to veterans? And then we got one more remember. Our Fill the Can Challenge is going on until July 4th. You can't decide what participant needs to win. I got one person on the screen that really wants to win. But if you can't decide, you can visit any Paducah bank and walk in and say, I want to fill the can. And they know what to do. Or scan the code, do a one-time thing, say, put it in, fill the can. That's how we grow. Oh, that's pretty much my slide deck for today. Short, sweet. You know me, short, sweet, to the point.
But there was a lot in there. Oh my gosh. Back up just a second here. SIU is now our education resource partner. And you had some visitors that came in last Saturday from the, was it 1st Battalion in Illinois?
United States Reserve Corps, United States Veterans Reserve Corps, 1st Illinois Battalion.
Got it.
They came down, took a tour. They had this one their little specialist with his notepad. He could barely keep up with the notes his commander was throwing at him. Okay, we got to bring this, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do that. Okay.
How awesome is that? You get to hear somebody else hitting it all out there and saying, we're on this. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, this is going on. And then of course with Tim, Mark, Jay, Big Records, TDC, the Mighty One, Hope Stock 2025 will be happening. Okay, I have every confidence in that team. They said, Brian, you've given us the facility. We'll make it happen. So I'm like, thank you and God bless.
Awesome.
Now, speaking of the Disability Channel, you know, they've been a resource partner for a long, long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Long time. And people, you know why? Well, people, you know, they're out of Canada. They're out of Canada. They're above the line. Close to your neighborhood, I guess, but
sort of ish. Closer than you, you know.
hey, but I had you beat when I was stationed at Fort Drum, New York.
True.
That was only a 20-minute drive, and I was in Canada. Okay. Now, everybody goes, why are you working with a Canadian company? Because we only take the best for who we serve. And after all the research, we chose their programs to come to our facilities. And now that the SIU piece is in place, we're moving forward on that. So I understand we got a hold of their director of programs.
We have a wonderful gentleman that is joining us tonight. So, would you like me to go ahead and introduce and bring him in?
Bring it in. I'm just going to be a fly on the wall because I got something to say. You know that.
Excellent. Well, I am so pleased to bring in Frank Roskopf from Owlware Limited. They are Canada's leader in digital accessibility, and I am super excited to get a chance to speak more with Frank. So come on in here and join the conversation. So glad you could join us.
I'm so glad to be here with Project iHeart, Sue and Brian. So great to see you both again.
So tell us a little bit more about Owlware Limited and what kind of programming you guys offer.
Yeah, so Owlware actually stands for Online Web Learning. We were a program that serves people with disabilities now for over 18 years. We primarily work in the province of Ontario, but we do work in the US and we do work nationally. And so we partnered with the Disability Channel, or I like to call it the Ability Channel. And the Ability Channel and Disability Channel works with us to provide the practical online skills training for our programs. So we do a lot of the facilitation with different colleges, and we're so pleased that SIU is going to be joining the Project iHeart mission, and that we're going to be part of the collective, to work together to serve our veterans. It's not like North and South, and it's not Canada and US, it's veterans that we're serving. Veterans And thanks for your service, by the way. It's veterans who need to be able to have these opportunities to be able to transition into employment, learn new skills. We have a proven track record of working with veterans nationally and in the US too. We actually piloted a program in the US first before we started to do our accessible digital media program. And accessible digital media is a new skill set that's really needed out there in terms of making documents accessible, video accessible, social media accessible. And who best to learn this skill set than persons with disability challenges themselves? So we're training individuals to be learning a new skill set to be able to transition into civilian life, to have a new skill set, to be able to earn income, to feel good about themselves. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? I mean, we all have challenges and we've all gone through so many things. And I cannot even imagine what our veterans have gone through. And hats off to you. So I mean, this is something we started off with, and I get excited about this because we started off with serving persons with disabilities, and that's what we do. But we've provided a lot of programming here in Canada and in the States in terms of accessible digital media. But we thought veterans too are facing a lot of challenges and a lot of issues. And why can't we serve veterans? Why can't we make it better for veterans? And so this is, we outreach to Project iHeart. I know, Sue, we've been working with you, Kurt, for a little while too. You've been involved in a lot of our visionary pieces. And, and now here we are with, SIU. And it's cultivating. It takes a village to make things happen. And, we're cultivating all these opportunities, and we're so excited to be able to serve our veterans. And we have a great program that's been proven to provide employment opportunities for people that take our programming. And you're gaining a certification in accessible digital media. I mean, that's a skill set that so many organizations need, because with the new mandates and in terms of accessibility, that collectives in terms of what corporations need to do, what private organizations and businesses need to do to be more accessible, to be more inclusive. This is a great skill set. So we're teaching individuals to be able to have the skill set, and actually with the involvement of the Disability Channel, they provide the practicum. So if you're going to start to learn how to do captioning, which is an accessible skill set, you'll learn how to do captioning with the Disability Channel. So it's a great way to have that experiential type of learning that's involved. So, everybody learns differently, that's for sure, right? And I myself, as a visual learner, I had some struggles myself in the past when I was young. And that's just how I learned, but then way back then, I mean, there were not a lot of supports for people. So now we know that, there's different ways people learn. And so we provide the facilitation in terms of the classroom and facilitation, but also the practical. So how do you incorporate that practical and experiential type of learning? And that's what we do with the Disability Channel. So, I want to say thank you very much to have this opportunity with Project iHeart. I know you guys work so hard. You're doing your call for patrons, but you know what, patrons out there, it's a leap of faith. And, this is what we're all about. It's providing a beginning for everyone. And it's a leap of faith for everyone. Take that leap of faith and make something happen.
Okay, folks, let me explain. Your donation builds the Disability Channel studio on our facilities. Their studio is the hands-on. Our brings the classroom, the learning it, but that building doesn't get built by wish and prayer. Well, it does get built by prayer, but it just doesn't magically appear. Okay, so Yes, I am so pleased about this. Sue, what else do you got for our guest here?
Well, actually, I was wondering if I should be bringing Kurt in at this point too. I know he is joining us, and he's had a chance to work with Frank over the. I'm not actually not even sure how long. I know you guys have known each other for a while, but Kurt, I'm going to go ahead and bring you on
Oh
in here
my,
to join
yeah.
this conversation.
Hey, Kurt.
Hi, Frank.
Hey.
Yeah, it basically was 2020 January where I met Jay Stoyan and we worked on an event that year, and then the veteran component came together for me at the tail end of that year, and then we started working, on that veteran direction going into the following year. So we started a February event, and in the midst of all that, I had just done a Facebook Live with Brian. And so it was interesting how during COVID time that all this stuff came together. And then, it really took us to be distracted by, this displacement and disruption of COVID, and then to resettle it back, because we had discussions in the years past that, it kind of seems like, boy, we would have, could have, should have done a lot of this stuff sooner. But I think it was just the nature of the marketplace that it just seems like COVID time just kind of threw a lot of other opportunities at us. Actually, I mean, a lot of people, died from COVID and everything. So it definitely also has that sacrifice and that legacy that we live in. But yeah, what a wonderful year, 2024. A lot of people coming into the year were trusting that for many, many organizations and people around the world, just a lot of expectation of a fantastic year. And so I think with Owlware and with the Disability Channel and with Project Die Hard, and how the Invictus Games comes into all this, and it just seems like now is the time. It's kind of like we've been asking for it all this time, and it's coming nicely. But to what I was hearing from Brian, still a long ways to go. I tell people all day long, every day, that we have a nice facility in McCann, Illinois, but we got some work to do to make it the overnight stay facility that we're dedicated to have. And I couldn't be more proud to be with a group that's looking to have such an educational piece. So with SIU coming in here, and my wife works at Carroll University out of Waukesha, nothing official there yet from her job, but I have expectations, in case I didn't say that yet, Sue. So we'll see where that goes. We got SIU
We've had
paving
that
and
discussion
Frank's here.
already.
So.
Sue and I have already had that discussion already.
Okay, that's good. So yeah, that's what I say. There's a lot of eagerness here, but it's all about resources, folks. So having a professional like Frank here in the mix, just can't say enough, Frank, for what you bring to the table for us and what's needed. I mean, we've been talking about, education being a key component, and the focus on employment, very key. We've been talking about, I've been learning about that for a few years myself personally. I'm sure, everybody around me has probably been, I would have to say, working on longer than me. But Sue and I are really solid that in terms of all the things we could be doing with our lives, this is at the front of the list. To me, Sue and I agree that, boy, if we can't help our vets, what is their life worth? So we keep it as simple as that.
Yeah, and this whole partnership that's in place now, I don't partnership, if that whole piece, that memorandum of agreement and understanding that had to take place, there's a lot that went into that, and nobody knows more than Brian what all took place there. It's been a long road to get from this idea of, with our educational piece, that SIU would be a great, do you guys know why they're such a great partner, at least a piece of it? Just location wise, they are so close to Fob Rush. They are
2.3 miles.
How many?
2.3 miles.
2.3. That the local Culver's is farther away, and we don't even hesitate to run over there, right? So It's nice and close. It is a perfect piece to add to this whole puzzle of what is going on there at Fabrush. And there is so much that this is going to open up beyond just the actual piece of Project Die Hard and SIU being connected. This opens other doors as well. There are so many things that can grow from this point. This gives so much validity. I know that's been a conversation in the past as well. It's like people are waiting for this or that to happen before they want to jump on. Well, a university is not going to get involved in an organization if they don't understand that it is built on a solid foundation, because they're not going to risk themselves, right? They are only going to get involved if they know what's going on is a good thing and it's something that they can get behind and get with and be connected to. Their name is too important to put something flimsy out there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Folks, this took over a year from our first meeting with SIU to get this memorandum done. Okay, look, I'm an upfront guy. Folks, I hear all the gripes. You're not doing enough for veterans. Oh, you're buying trips. And I'm not. You know I'm not.
Nope.
But SIU tore in to every little bit of financial information on Project Die Hard. They tore into it. They asked the hard questions. They came to the property, see, hey, this is what's going here, this is what's going here. If that doesn't prove our validity, I don't know what does.
They did their due diligence and they saw all the things that are going on to be exactly as you've described. And it's solid. That is why they have come on board with what's going on and are willing to put their name out there. So I got to ask, you've got a bit of an event coming up here on, is it Thursday morning at
Thursday morning. I forgot to tell people about that, didn't I?
Tell us about that. That's kind of a big deal.
To you, maybe.
It is.
The big deal to me is the fellowship breakfast when I get to give my brothers and sisters a free meal. That's the big deal to me. But if you happen to be in the neighborhood on Thursday at 10:30, we're having a small little get-together at the Forward Operating Base Rush. SIU's going to come down. I got to be there in a button down or a polo, or I got to look something like a professional, because I get to say thank you and God bless for joining the team. And we do that. It's already digitally signed, but we're going to do that big some thing. And we got WSIL TV there, WPSD TV there, 2 newspapers, 2 Fox stations, and more that are coming to cover that event. That's the press brief. I don't know.
Deal. We're going to have more people on site getting to see what's going on there. And actually, the more people that get eyeballs on the facility, the faster that is reality for people, right? If you're there, I have not gotten to be there yet. I've seen pictures. I've seen all sorts of things, but personally have not actually seen the facility. I'm telling you, when you get to actually walk and be in a location, it takes on a whole added meaning, right? Just by nature of it. So to have those news outlets coming in there, SIU is going to be there. It is a big deal. And I'm so excited to hear that that's in place 10:30 a.m. Central. this Thursday. So Thursday, June, what is that, 21st?
20th.
20th. Sorry, fast math didn't work.
Yeah.
On the 20th, I'm looking at my screen like, wait, what's today? So the 20th of June, mark the calendar, June 20th of 2024, this Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Be there, tune in. Doesn't matter where you are, you'll be able to get access to this, right? There's a way to get it.
One way or another, we will have access. Our current internet status at Bob Rush is kind of in danger. We have to catch up on some bills there. We had to let slide because it was internet or water. You need water to live. You don't need internet to live. So I had to make that call. But now we're playing catch up on them, and they're saying they're going to do their best to have internet up and running on the 19th. So we're ready for the 20th, but we'll figure it out. I'll turn every phone I got into a hotspot, I guess. We'll make it work. That's what we do, right? We work with the blessings we receive.
Exactly. And now I know I'm actually thinking back with Frank. You said you have worked with other universities in the course of your career with what you do. What kind of experiences stand out to you as far as how the support works, how the connection works, how good of an experience? I'm excited to get my fingers into what's all going on. So I'm excited with this connecting point. So I'm just wondering if you want to share a little more perspective.
Yeah, it's interesting. Kurt was talking about, how we all had to really start to work remotely because of COVID. And interesting enough, our first launch of our accessible media program, we partnered with a college that is recognized as a vendor for veterans in the U.S. Called Mohawk College, and they're a recognized college. And we partnered with them on the accessibility program in terms of them facilitating some of that program, and then the channel providing the practicum that the students can kind of provide. And as the world sort of changed, and it's changed now forever, right? Here we are doing a podcast. Here we are talking remotely. It's business. It's trades. But the unique thing about what happened, when COVID hit, we were all ready to launch our program, and it was going to be 60% classroom, 30%, 40% in remote, right? And then when COVID hit, all of a sudden we were prepared to be able to switch everything 100% remotely. But with individuals who have disability challenges, it worked in our favor because we set them all up to work remotely at home. So businesses then had to scramble around to start to service their own businesses, but they had to do it remotely. And they really liked that idea because persons with disabilities, they have, the transportation issues, they may have medical appointments that are upcoming. So everything that the environment was working remotely, it worked to their advantage. So finally the leverage happened, right? And in terms of being employed, we had like an 85% employment rate, and we still continue having that. And so we do have opportunities now for employment remotely, and we have opportunities for people to be employed in different states or regions. It's our like the hybrid model, and I think that's here to stay too, right? So it was very interesting how that all kind of came about. And the other interesting thing too with veterans, we realized that veterans, when we started to do our programming, that certain cues or sounds or visuals or certain situations that triggered, veterans that were learning, what we did was decide to have veterans come into play to be sort of mentors in terms of guiding individuals who are undergoing similar circumstances and helping us to guide veterans or persons that are struggling to ensure that they have that support to be enabling them to be able to find employment or to review lessons with them, that type of thing. So we found that formula to be very, very successful and very unique because it's sort of peers mentoring peers, what it's all about. And so it's not that I don't feel so disadvantaged or I don't feel so out of place, because there's someone there who understands what I've gone through. And I don't understand what people have gone through, veterans have gone through, but a veteran will understand that with another veteran. So these are the kind of exciting things that always evolve in terms of learning, understanding, and training. The other piece that we're introducing that's kind of exciting, there's two other things that we're introducing. So the other introducing a portion of what we're providing is we're going to be actually working with a software company that works with AI. And AI is controversial, but it's here to stay. And this particular company has now provided a software template that works with accessible formats. So it'll kind of do documents in accessibility formats. So they need somebody to they need a group to beta test this concept. So that's kind of exciting. So AI is going to be in the mix with their training. And of course, the big thing is that the main broadcaster for the Invictus Games, the upcoming Invictus Games, we're now going to be taking 2 teams to the Invictus Games that are going to be the accessible media crew that will be at the Invictus Games. It was really interesting because, the lead proponent for the games, they all pitched to be, who's going to broadcast. And then, of course, they asked the channel to do it. And it's just that, well, we have the capacity, but we said, does anybody in the broadcast field be able to make this accessible in an accessible format? And all these leading broadcasters didn't even know what that was. So here's Invictus Games, people with disabilities, barriers. How are you going to make that broadcast accessible? So there was the question. So then we said, well, we have the solution. We have a team that we're going to train that's going to be in accessible formats and learn all about accessibility and accessible media. So why not take a team with us to the Invictus Games, and they'll be the accessibility media crew. So they're going to be part of the production team for the Invictus Games, upcoming Invictus Games in Vancouver. So we're really excited about that. So you can see how this employment, and so that'll be employing a team, 2 teams that will be going there. But it's the long-term employment opportunities too, because of course they're going to get paid, they're going to have that work experience, but then that's going to lead to other games that are out there, the Paralympic Games, the World Games, the Olympics, all those things. It's an accessible media skill set that's really needed out there. So we're really excited about that. And, learning, sure, you come with these challenges that happen, but it's the people that know how to deal with those challenges that can turn it around really quickly and leverage it to their advantage. And I think that's what we're really doing, and again, we're working as a team together, and we're working for a common goal and a common vision. You talk about this facility that's being built, and then that's amazing. But how does it start? Is because of a vision. Like if you don't have that vision, you have nothing. And this is exciting because you're building this. This is the strong foundation of people that building this vision. And I think everybody, and I always talk about that leap of faith because everybody's so scared to do that change. That's human nature. We're all scared to do that leap of faith, and we all have to take that, but we can take it together. And once we take that leap of faith together, there's nothing else out there that's going to be impossible. I really believe that.
Well, and I do have a question for you. So for those who are not familiar with what exactly is this whole concept of accessible media, can you give some examples? What does that look like?
Yeah, so like if you're doing documents, for example, or websites need to be in accessible format because a lot of learners that use accommodations, for example, like text-to-speech readers, if they go on a website and the website's not formatted in the correct way, these devices aren't going to work. So they have to be formatted in the right way so these text-to-speech readers can read them and provide that information to the user. For documents, the same thing happens. Like documents, sometimes, again, they have to be used in a person who has maybe a vision issue or a hearing issue. They're going to need to see captioning. they can't hear what's happening. So all your videos have to have captioning. So there's a special skill set to be able to do captioning. There is some software out there that can do it, but it's not very accurate. So you need someone actually who knows that skill set to caption videos. And that's a mandate. That's a compliance mandate in the States, in Canada, everywhere, nationally, in Europe. That's a mandate. You have to be accessible. You have to have your formats accessible so people everywhere can inclusively hear or read or any type of format that's out there. So this is the skill set of how do you create that accessible media. Same with social media. You put stuff out there. Not, you're looking at a population that's huge that may have a disability, and people have acquired disabilities. So it's not that they're born with a disability. A lot of people are acquired a disability, and they need to have those skills. They need to have the accommodations in order to be able to read content, read documents, listen and see videos and hear videos. And it's complicated, but everybody should have that right. It's everybody's right to be able to have that. So learning the skill set of how to create that accessible media is a skill in itself. And that's what we're teaching individuals. And that's here to stay too.
Yeah, that I can only see that type of thing expanding and getting, as people understand that it's available, it's going to just keep growing and being even more in need.
And that's the thing that corporations know, or businesses know they have to be in compliance, but they don't know who to hire. And that's what we're finding. Like when we started launching our first program, businesses want to do it, and corporations and companies and nonprofits need to do it. They have to be in compliance, but they don't know who do they hire to do it. How do they do it? How do they go about doing it? It can be a very expensive venture too, right? So now we're offering basically individuals to have that skill set that they'll be able to provide compliancy for corporations, that they can be, have their formats in an accessible their digital media in an accessible format. So it's a great little skill set. It's a specialization. We also provide a certification in accessible media as well. And we're also providing, almost like a lot of universities are providing micro credentials in certain areas. And that's what we're also providing, as a micro credential that says that you're able to have the skill set.
Excellent.
Again, folks, look, I got to chime in here. See why I need your help to get this studio built, to get this facility built?
Yep.
This is the skill my brothers and sisters need. We've done the legwork. We found the best people to give the best training to our veterans. They've proven it with the Canadian veterans. Okay? God willing, we will have a facility in Canada. But that's a whole other legal thing we're not even looking at right now. Let's get Die Hard Bob Rush built first. Then we go to Pennsylvania. We cover all 50 states. Then we're going to move bigger and better.
Brian, you have to remember too, like this whole piece of accessible digital media, we piloted it in the U.S. We did a pilot program in the U.S.
Brother, you don't got to remind me.
Yeah, but it was interesting, Brian, because the feedback that we got, we just had like a handful of veterans that participated. We've provided jobs for those individuals, but the interesting thing that really was life-changing was, we heard from some veterans who were really struggling, really struggling hard, and being offered that opportunity to have this career in digital media and accessibility. And I had veterans say, I was almost giving up. I didn't know where to go, and this changed my life. You saved my life. It changed my life. And when you hear things like that, honest to God.
Brother, yeah, look, as I've been telling everybody, okay, I was a medic, so do I have a skill to jump into the civilian role? Yes. Tank drivers don't. Infantry guys don't. The combat arms, the guys that have seen the worst of the worst, they don't have a skill that can come out here to the civilian world. So yes, every skill we teach benefits them.
But it's transferable skills that this is a thing. This is the economy, sort of that transition into civilian life, which is such a struggle and so scary. But they do have transferable skills from the military, or the veterans do have those skill sets that they don't recognize they have. But those are the skill sets that employers want.
I understand, brother. Okay, leadership, organization.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
But then we got these little hiccups called flashbacks.
Yes.
Okay. So we got to learn. I've had to learn my triggers.
Yeah.
We're giving veterans a safe, secure place to get ready to go to the civilian world.
That leap of faith.
Yeah.
So, well, and Kurt, I'm going to bring you back in here too to share some thoughts. I know you've been listening for a while and you're always a font of information. So I just want to give you a chance to speak to all this.
Well, what I'd like to do is lean on you, Frank, a little bit. I would like to personify a little bit, or get some word pictures going that, okay, we got the base over there in Illinois. We got Southern Illinois University referring people to this program, Digital Ventures.
Mm-hmm.
And, so you got with Jay to create this service that we're now talking about in a roundabout way, Digital
Right.
Ventures. And I experienced it in kind of a sample format. Again, in 2020, you guys, did a little, 4-week session,
Right.
4-week run, and I participated in that. And so I think we're missing sharing that. So Frank, can you speak to that a little bit in terms of Owlware's role in Digital Ventures and what you got with Jay on for that, and what it means that veterans are going to be able to come into this, Zoom format and be able to access the instructors that you guys all put together as the Digital Ventures team, and what are they learning?
Yeah, so that, again, it is a program that's being offered. We're hoping that we can be offering this in a classroom setting at this new facility at Project iHeart. That's the dream, to be offered, in person, because in-person learning one-on-one is the best way you can learn, I think. But we're also offering it remotely and offering that opportunity to veterans everywhere. And so it would be like a 20-week program. And it would be offered 3 days. Well, it would be 3 days a week for sure, full time, in terms of lecture facilitation, tutorials, and then practicum with the channel. So they learn by doing. So again, for the example of captioning, they learn captioning. They'll be able to do that. The captioning with the channel's programming. But it is a program that will provide a certification and a certificate program. And we're hoping that, again, that it will lead into some of the diploma program with the university. We're working on sort of that concept with micro-credentials as well. But the program itself, we're looking at taking 2 groups in, and they would be like a morning session, afternoon session. And then again, the whole concept would be to be able to train individuals in accessible digital media. So it'll be like learning how to make documents accessible, learning how to do social media, learning Canva, learning how to do video productions, learning how to do podcasts. But all those media elements would be done in an accessible format. So you're still learning the production concepts, you're learning, all those formats, but you're also learning the skill set of making that accessible. So that's the mainstay. And of course, we'd love to be able to offer this in the in the classroom environment. I think that's crucial, and and also operating nationally, remotely, giving every veteran an opportunity to participate in this program. And again, the long term goal here is to create employment opportunities to support veterans, enabling them to transition to civilian life, and having veterans mentor other veterans and into successfully gaining those important milestones in their lives. And we realize too, that it's just not, there's so much involved in terms of the dynamics of family too. Veterans they're struggling, they're trying to earn a living, they're trying to learn a new skill set, and we know that families are involved as well. I mean, that's another piece that's involved. But what we're trying to do also is provide a portfolio that veterans can tell their stories about their struggles, their challenges, and how they overcame those in terms of podcasts and video samples. And so we want to upload those stories. It's almost like oral tradition, right? The way you learn by visual and the auditory pieces, and saving those stories to help other veterans make that transition. So that's all part of building that portfolio. So they immerse themselves in those skills, and they learn how to produce videos and podcasts, and that's something to show other veterans and other organizations of they're building their own portfolios right online. So that's pretty exciting, and we have been doing that, and we find it to be very, very helpful. So you're learning by doing. You're getting credentials. You're getting recognized credentials in the industry. You're getting practical work experience, and you're applying those skill sets to move forward into a career.
Excellent. So we do have a fun surprise to join into this conversation. Actually sneaking in the background here. I'm sorry, Santa. I don't know how long you've been waiting on me here, but I would like to introduce you on the show here. We've got Santa Papa John joining us. Frank meet Santa. Santa meet Frank.
Hi, Frank. How are you?
I have to say I've been a good boy.
When people start off the conversation with that, it gives me, makes me think totally the opposite is happening.
I know. I may be on your naughty list a bit, but
it's like, oh no, Santa's here.
No. Kurt's on the naughty list. I've been here for like 8 minutes.
I know he is.
Sue, how can you go along with that smiling face and that giggling laughter? And she tries to keep the conversation so upbeat and so positive all the time. And Kurt just leaves me kicked to the curb for over like 9 minutes. So I'm going, okay, I'll get him back. It's okay. But I still love you, Kurt. It's okay.
I have to own that though, because I'm the button pushing freak tonight, and I actually missed that you had shown up on. You were down at the bottom of my screen. I didn't see you, and I just scrolled and like, oh my gosh, how long have you been waiting? So, hope you can forgive me. I'll give you an extra smile. But so glad you're joining us. I wonder if you could remind everybody what it is that you all do for us here at Project Die Hard.
Well, I try and create some smiles. And, Frank, I caught part of your speech there, and it sounds like you've got a lot of positive initiatives going on for this organization. And we need more of that. Some of these people are in some pretty tough straits and not sure which way to go, and if we can help guide them and prod them and push them and encourage them, I guess is the major word. I mean, they've been pushed and prodded half their life or whatever the case may be, and sometimes they don't know which way to turn, and they're just looking for a big shoulder, really. And if we can offer that, and sometimes it's even a ear to listen to. We can offer that and just give them some assistance and maybe some guidance to get over the next little bump that, unfortunately, a lot of these guys and gals have a lot of bumps and bruises that need a lot of tender care. So, what I listened to was you've got some good things going and you've got a lot of positive. So now if we can just encourage these people to get encouraged with the positive, you never know where it's going to be. Absolutely. So one step at a time. But I've got a big initiative. Yes, you're pointing at it. Is Are You Santa approved? And Project Die Hard is Santa approved. It's one of my new initiatives where I'm creating a whole new community of positive, happy, joyful people because we're tired of the negative nannies. But it's another thing. I'm creating a whole community of people that want to help share and care about each other and building up to see where it's going to go. So I'm having fun with it. The marketing people are going ballistic with it. And I do one of a kind happy birthday videos. I do Santa check in videos. And my newest one that's actually gaining some ground too is a special one of a kind thank you video. When you get that special customer that goes over and above or does something a little bit different that requires more than Frank just saying, thanks, Kurt, you did a good job. Hey, Frank's going to order a one of a kind thank you video to say, Kurt, you did a really good job. You went over and above things, and good thing that Sue was backing him up because, he couldn't have done this all by himself because he does a limited amount of things, but sometimes he needs a little extra encouragement from Sue, and together they do an amazing job. But that's what I'm talking about. Because our generation, Frank, and you know what I'm talking about, Sue and Kurt, a lot of times we forget to say thank you. We forget to say please, and especially our younger generation, they don't know what those two words mean. So someone got a hold of me and said, hey, can you make up a little video that says thank you? And I go, what an amazing little concept. So, it took me all of, 3 minutes to whip up this video, and it meant a lot to her. And my understanding, it was, believe it or not, someone at a bank did an exceptional customer service job. I know we don't associate those words with banks, but it was one of those rare circumstances where it did happen, and it's made its way all the way up to the branch manager. So that's pretty cool. So, but the lady said, I wanted to do something a little bit more than normal to say thank you. She had a problem like for 8 weeks and nobody solved it. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea.
Awesome. Awesome. I know you're doing some amazing things out there and you do bring smiles wherever you go. So I'm so glad you're able to join us here and that you're able to do all the things you do here with Project Die Hard. I know we're coming up at towards the end here. I do want to give just a chance to go around the room, maybe 30 seconds. What's on your mind after this awesome connection we've had here tonight? Frank, I'll go ahead and start with you. What final thoughts you'd like to share?
Yeah, it's interesting, Santa Papa John, that you're just saying the simple things like saying thank you and encouraging people, uh, being there for individuals. I think those things are really fundamental things that sometimes simple things we forget to say, and it's and in a way you're right. These are things that so many times businesses or people that I run into, I will say thank you, or I will write something really nice because there's always so many people that always write the horrible things, and it's like, really, like, why can't you just deliver something that's nice and being helpful? And I think that's what it's all about, helping each other achieve goals and dreams and making things not so impossible, because everybody comes together and lifts everybody. It takes a team to lift everybody, and I know that's for sure. So I think those are things that, like, I'm trying to reflect on and trying to better myself, trying to make the world better. Why not?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Frank. Santa, last word from you?
I just agree with Frank, but I think our society is so set on speed demons and everything has to be done yesterday, they forget some of the simple things,
Yeah.
and if we can just remember to encourage, to support, it can go a long way. And there's Mr. Brian. Hey, Brian, how you doing, buddy? His
Sorry,
famous words are,
sorry about that. Veteran call. That's where I go.
it's okay. I took over for you there, buddy. It's okay. Not a problem. But, it's like Brian and Kurt and Sue and everybody involved in this mission says, the team makes the dream work much easier. And if we can just remember that and encourage that, the baby steps can go a long way.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here and joining us. Brian, I just wanted to ask, double check here. Did you have any last thoughts you want to share before we close up?
PDH pray, PDH share, PDH volunteer, PDH donate. And brothers and sisters, don't give up. We have moved forward in a big way this past week. Things are now in works. I don't put things out because they're rock solid. This is rock solid, what is now going to lead to other opportunities with other people. Be strong, don't give up.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Brian. Actually, Kurt, I'm going to give you a chance here too. 15 seconds.
I'm going to come out with the key thought of belonging. It is an essential thing for every human to know where they belong and to have that purpose. And you definitely have purpose and belong right here at Project Die Hard, with being Santa approved and getting the word out there with the Disability Channel and education galore with Owlware. So you've got a haven here. Come on in. Over to you, Sue.
Awesome. What an awesome group here tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here, for all that you're doing to help support Project Die Hard and this entire community. We are on the grow, and I'm excited for what is next. Be sure to tune in on Thursday, because we do have that amazing event going on at Fob Rush there, with the media coming in and doing all the wonderful announcing here of this new agreement taking place between Project Die Hard and Southern Illinois University. This is going to be amazing. I'm so excited for all of what is to come. Thank you so much. We will be back here, as always, on Monday night. Next Monday, we'll be here for the Project Die Hard Mission Monday update. See you then. And as always, we thank you.